think about conversational contact center as a service and what challenges you have. Mohammed.
Thank you. Well, I'm actually going to start with talking about the company, just like a background about what we are doing. But the topic will be actually, the challenge we face in the adoption when we introduce these technologies to businesses. So I'm Mohamed Elmasry, the co-founder and CEO of Tactful. We are a contact center solution specifically designed for SMEs. Okay, and SMEs are actually, just making up like the majority of economy in any place. And our journey was started in 2017. We worked as a professional service company, just like implementing AI for businesses that would like to improve their customer experience, providing them analytics and maybe some self-service, technology as well. But we have quickly understood and realized, when you talk about customer experience, point solutions don't make sense. And you have actually to provide more value or understand, the ecosystem of the customer journey and, how it works in the business and the different operations and the different tools they are using to serve their customers. So we evolved into, a more full, complete customer engagement solution around all of the touch points. And we provide AI as a native capability in the system so they can actually see and manage everything end to end and integrate with different systems. But we were more focused around larger enterprise customers. So all of the customers we had, like large telecom operators, large retailers, some banks, and others. And then we got acquired in 2022 by a large player in business communication in Europe. It's a group of companies. So they have acquired us, but their main focus is SME. So they have millions of users from SMEs, businesses on their platforms. And we made sense like an acquisition because we can harmonize things and we can actually deliver more value to those customers, end to end. So we pivoted again, to become an SME-focused solution. So during the last couple of years, we have been shifting everything. We're building into a technology that is more usable and accessible and useful for SMEs. And in 24, another twist, we bought the company back. So we are independent now. So that's another story for another time. We can talk about it. Yeah. So why we do this, because why we would like to build our solution? Because we all know lots of customer service available by businesses today are still outdated. What we see is more than 60%, specifically around SMEs, are actually still using legacy technologies. They haven't touched AI. The ones that have touched AI, they actually face so much challenges and failing projects. So many of them are actually still using old legacy solutions that actually not providing value. The impact, there are facing challenges with their customers like churn and like a lack of reduced revenues and other things. So when we started to introduce our solution into the market, like every technology startup, we have been looking into the crossing the chasm model, which is very popular in actually introducing innovation into the market. And we try to understand why this 2/3 of the curve are actually pushing back or actually delayed in their adoption to the technology. What are the actual reasons behind this? So what we have seen so far, and I'm going to talk about how we actually address some of these challenges in our technology, and also there are opportunity for more research and innovation around this. So first thing, customer service is being considered as a mission critical function in any business. If you touch this, it has to work. I cannot get it wrong. It's the only, channel between me and my customers. If there's something wrong, goes here, it's actually going to be a problem. That makes businesses very worried about big disruptive changes. They would like to see incremental improvements that they can track and understand and actually have a control over. So that's one issue when we actually introducing solutions to those businesses. Many of them even before the LLMs and Gen AI, many of them had tried AI, in one way or another, and many has actually failed projects and disappointment. So many of them today are actually not willing to take another risk and face the uncertainty. So they need more clarity around the ROI, the benefits, how much are going to win, how long does it take, what is the plan actually to get this done end to end. The problem of data, that still exists in many businesses, especially in SMEs. We struggle to get any information to help us actually build the experience and build the customer journey and build the automation. So it's either doesn't exist or fragmented or outdated, doesn't represent the actual information that agents are providing manually to the customers over the channel. So it's a problem. And businesses expect us as vendors actually to have ways to capture that information, as Jen actually was mentioning, and provide pre-trained models about specific use cases and specific scenarios. Many legacy systems also, if you think about a business, they already have systems in place. And in order to make a good customer experience, you have to talk to these systems. Like you have to integrate with them, you have to exchange data, you have to do something. Many of those legacy systems actually are very poor in interoperability. It's very difficult to integrate with them. So businesses are expecting us to find workarounds around this. Otherwise they're actually not going to adopt the technology, and even very basic chatbots, not going to be sufficient if they can actually not able to pull recent data and recent information about the business and the customers from different systems. And the last one is customer service is basically a very stressful environment. Agents are tracked by the minute. They have to do, they have to meet all of the objectives and so on. So just getting the attention of those users to actually try something new and actually go into the journey of adoption is very difficult. So how us as vendors would be able to actually make it easy for them to transition and actually use the system is very important. So us as Tactful, we're taking that in mind, actually, and taking what the option that SMEs today have, actually. We're trying to position ourselves as the platform that is scalable and accessible. Accessible is a very important keyword in what we are doing and how we design and build technology and everything. And we try to simplify the implementation and maintenance of the whole platform, just taking into consideration these challenges. So how we do this, we have developed a solution. I'm going to show more about this, which is quick and simple. You can really actually get it from the first instance you see the system. You don't really need to think much. So user experience of the actual user, the agent, the supervisor is very important in us. We take that very seriously. A plug and play, we have built something that would allow them actually to connect it with the different channels and different data sources they have very easily. And we're doing a lot of work on no-code AI and automation, so how we can actually help those businesses, automate their workflows without having to have technical know-how and technical expertise in place. So we build that into the architecture, we bake that into architecture. So we have very modular architecture, which allow us actually to do a lot of intelligent stuff by integration agentic framework, as I'm going to show. So we have the fabric, downwards, and we have the application. So we have a separation between both. So we can actually cater for so many different use cases and verticals by just leveraging these capabilities. So we do have two major applications as of today, which is a Tactful Engage, which is single pane of glass. That's focused on improving the agent and the supervisor experience. These are the two main users that delivering customer experience and customer service to customers. So we're trying to make that very intuitive, easy to navigate, all of the data and information they need under their fingertips. And we do have Tactful Automate, which is a no-code platform built specifically for accelerating the validation and adoption of these workflows and automation, specifically around prototyping and seeing the results as quickly as possible instead of waiting too long time or long projects in order to figure out if the system will work or not. So in that system, they can actually prototype and leverage a lot of templates and CX blueprints immediately and can test it in a safe environment and see how it works for their business. So that's more a zoom in of our Engage platform, and that's more of a zoom in inside Tactful Automate. We started to introduce Copilot also in the Tactful Automate. So instead of figuring out what to draw in the canvas, you could just simply ask the pilot to, I would like to do so and so. Can you actually just get something as a starter, and they will just draw a draft for you. Another thing we are trying to do is to have a place for shared knowledge, across verticals and across industries. So we're creating this CX marketplace, which consultants and experts in the customer experience and customer service, they can actually publish their own kind of templates or solutions into the marketplace, and businesses can drag it and can actually try it and can use it on their own. That's unlocking so much potential and accelerating the innovation cycle, because people don't really need to start from scratch over time. They don't need to understand the technicalities of the platform. They can use this actually in order to get started very quickly. So it's really an open platform for innovation, and we just started in this. Like, there are so much we can do. We started also to introduce some methods and tools. That's still a very early concept. So we have tools for admins and tools for agents and tool supervisors. This is agentic frameworks. So for the implementation and the different types of integration that the admin needs to actually configure in the system, and instead of they actually figuring out themselves, they would use a co-pilot to actually just configure the whole solution and do all of the necessary integrations and get kick-started actually. So provide them with tools like a simulation, user acceptance testing, documents, templates that actually the co-pilot can generate, flow charts, content and reports, all of that, they can see it. Not only actually at an initial stage, but as customer experience is a continuous improvement thing, that they can use that kind of technology to continually improve the quality of the service. We do the same for the agent, but specifically around reducing the stress by helping the agent by giving them recommendations and automating some of their workflows, autonomously in the system. So we do have an agent assist concept, and we do the same for supervisors. Supervisors are the most difficult job, and they are the people that get blamed all of the time when things go wrong, because they meant to observe the quality of the service and the SLA all of the time, and coach and direct the agents on what to do. So having an assist for the supervisor using AI can add a great advantage, and also increase the confidence of the supervisor to go deeper in leveraging and you're using more of the technology and consume more of the technology. So based on that, I think we kind of need to think about another type of experience, which is the organization experience in customer service and customer experience. Because that's a very critical factor. If the organization is not able to adopt and move and migrate into new ways of working and new technologies, that's a big challenge we have. So I guess in research, we might need to actually invent the concept of organization experience in this digital transformation journey, and see how we can actually help them get along with the new technologies. We need to think seriously about the readiness of technology.
Someone's trying to take
Yeah, for sure. Readiness is very important. We have inflated expectations about the organization readiness and to adopt AI and technology. It's very little from what we have seen for different reasons. As I said, like legacy technologies, missing data, undocumented processes, and all of these things. How we can actually create solutions that take in consideration that many organizations are not fully ready for the adoption of technology. How we can take their hands on that journey is very important, I guess. Risk management, AI is still perceived as like high risk, and people are really worried. Would I implement a chatbot that actually would embarrass me in front of my customers? Compliance and privacy and all of these issues. So having frameworks that take risk management more seriously, in the ways of actually we introduce digital transformation in contact center is very important. And most of the research I see is pretty much focused on larger enterprises and developed world, and developed markets. It would be nice if we have more research around SMEs and actually non-developed markets and non-developed, countries, because there are so much potential to actually improve these segments and these markets by introducing frameworks and technology that actually would help them to do so. So I think that's everything for me. If any questions.